We are here and we are strong. Let's be counted as we move on. Make a difference, change lives as we tell our different stories. We are capable, beautiful. We are born to do great things. We're unstoppable, incredible, 'cause we're differently abled, differently.
Hello there and welcome to yet another beautiful episode of Able Differently. I hope you've been keeping well.
Today on the show, we are focusing on highlighting and celebrating some of the organizations that are making sure issues concerning persons with disabilities are well articulated in the public domain. My name is Stella Tioy.
And me, Jairus Ongeta. Welcome.
'Cause we're differently abled, differently.
Sexual reproductive health and rights of women with disabilities is a rarely spoken of subject. However, this Ability Trust is slowly building a platform where these issues can be addressed freely. Take a look.
Sexual reproductive health and right issues are rarely discussed, especially when it comes to women with disabilities.
Reproductive health is at the core of who a woman is, and we found that there was an invisibility in terms of policies that speak to the rights, the reproductive rights of women with disabilities, and also from a programming standpoint, the practice with service providers, for example, has been very vague and not conscious about the needs, the specific needs of women with disabilities. You find that in hospitals, only recently is accessibility, physical access in terms of ramps are provided in healthcare centers, that there are accessible toilets, and this is not even in all hospitals. In community healthcare settings, that there's it's the norm would be that it is inaccessible. So we felt that this was an area that needed to be highlighted, and we began working in this area by mobilizing groups of women with disabilities across the country to document their realities.
This is why women with disabilities are coming up to ensure that they are also accommodated in such crucial matters. Such organization is this Ability.
We think by creating positive content around disability and specifically focused on women and girls with disabilities, then we can play our part in increasing awareness and understanding.
The organization aims at reaching the 47 counties.
Right now we have a project in 8 counties that focuses on increasing access to sexual and reproductive health, access to information and healthcare services for women and girls with disabilities. Kisumu, Kakamega, Uasin Gishu, Mombasa, Kilifi, Kwale, Nairobi, and Kajiado counties. Yes. And our focus is around increasing the awareness of women and girls with disabilities of their rights. It's important for women to know, what the Constitution says about their rights, what the Convention on the Rights of People with Disabilities says, and how we can use those rights to ensure that county government is playing an active role in prioritizing the needs of women and girls with disabilities.
One major topic is menstrual hygiene.
So how do we allow for women with disabilities to be more independent? And also, when you're talking about independence, how do we also target schools of girls with disabilities to begin having these conversations with them? For a non-disabled child, you find probably conversations began at a very early level, conversations around hygiene. How do you keep yourself clean? But with girls with disabilities, the assumption is that, first of all, they are not considered as people or as women. They are objects. So to begin to look at them and think about their menstrual cycle, somebody really has to pay close attention. And we are glad that this attention is now coming.
Calls have been made nationwide to provide sanitary towels for free to girls, and well-wishers are now going out of their way to do this. However, Women with disabilities have been forced to use what is provided in the market, despite the fact that it does not cater for their full needs.
How do you begin to design products that cater to groups of women that have that issue? You factor the infrastructure. There are no accessible toilets, or maybe you're flying. You're in the air for 14 hours. How do you change? If you're in a wheelchair, there's no space for you to spread out, and so you have to wear something that will serve you for a longer period of time. And pads, I think the capacity, the absorption capacity is limited. When it comes to women who are blind, for example, how do we ensure that the packaging includes content or information that is in Braille, to allow, for privacy as well? You don't have to tell somebody, oh, go buy this for me. You can go, there's texture. You can Braille is basically printed font that has texture. You can access it, and you can know what it is that you're buying. So how do we allow for women with disabilities to be more independent?
It is for this and many reasons that this ability is engaging in talks with the manufacturers of this important commodity to consider the limitations.
I think there are many players that that would be necessary to bring on board. Right now, Disability Trust and Kimfe is having this conversation, and it needs to be at leadership level. The director at Kimfe is fully committed to ensuring that they begin to innovate products that target groups of women and girls with disabilities. We now need to bring on board other players. We need to have conversations with government to see how useful or how can we expand the tax exemption program to specifically look at the reproductive needs of women with disabilities, and how can we work at county level to ensure that these products are accessible and are affordable to groups of women with disabilities.
RISPA hopes that apart from just the manufacturers, the government can also come to make implementations possible.
I suggest that government should also play a part in this, in subsidizing some of these products in those areas, so that it's easy for people to also access. In schools with persons with disability, if these products are subsidized for them or are given to them for free, then they would have a problem accessing them anywhere. Especially for someone that cannot go into a supermarket and pick it off the shelf, they have to go to a kiosk. What if the nearby kiosk doesn't have any? But if they can get it in school and they're given a regular supply, then that's an easier way.
'Cause we're differently abled, differently.
Let's take a short break. We'll be right back.
'Cause we're differently abled, differently. 'Cause we're differently abled, differently.
Welcome back. The Kenya Institute for the Blind has made the lives of persons who are visually impaired a little bit easier by creating favorable environments. This year, they are celebrating 50 years of doing just that. Take a look.
On the 31st, the Kenya Institute for the Blind commemorated 50 years since the institution was started. From a small population, the school has grown over the years to where it is today.
There are three specific items that we are interested in doing. One is to launch our 50th anniversary commemoration book. It's a small publication that the board has put together to commemorate the 50 years of this institute, and we shall be asking our chief guest to launch that for us. The second one is launching of our strategic plan 2018-2023. It's begun working, but we'd like to launch it now officially so that the public knows what we are doing. And thirdly, we would like to increase our revenue towards the construction of a hostel facility for the learners and trainees that you have seen here. There are many more, and many more need to come here, and we do not have enough capacity for that purpose.
The day kicked off well upon the chief guest's arrival, where she got a bouquet of flowers and proceeded to tree planting.
And it has manure?
Yes, it has manure. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So this one.
Aside from that, she had to visit various tents for exhibition of books. Different integrated schools, which graced the occasion from different parts of the country, had a piece to offer for the entertainment segment as they are the key beneficiaries of the institution.
The day has come for us to see the glory of our name KIB. The hour of Jubilee will crown our greatest fame. Hongera KIB, together we celebrate.
Oh, you are just wonderful. Oh, yes, you are just special. In a special way you are. Congratulations for Golden Jubilee.
The institution's alumni who were present had great testimonies. For them, this helped them attain mobility technology and the will to live again.
From the knowledge and wisdom that I got here is what I'm using outside there, at workplace, and even at the Kenyatta University, whereby I'm using the adapted ICT for I to read, for I to do assignments. Through this institution, I came to know that disability is a free club, whereby your credentials are not needed. You don't apply for you to be in that club, but you find yourself in that club. After finding yourself in that club, you ought to rise up your eyes, your head, and face the situation the way it came. Therefore, I came to realize one thing, that disability is not meant for only civilians. And we, as soldiers, as police officers, also we are vulnerable for this disability. So I therefore thank the institution for whatever they have done onto my life, because the knowledge and wisdom that they gave me is whatever that I'm using at the university.
The main key points of the day, aside from the celebration, was to launch a book of how far the institution has come.
This is a popular version. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
The book is a reflection of the journey of the Institute from its humble beginning as a correspondence school, operating in a small office at the center of Nairobi City. We have been told that, through its developmental stages to the National Resource Center that it is today. The publication highlights the contribution of many people and institutions that have contributed towards this journey in their diverse ways and at different times. It is unfortunate that not all of them could have been celebrated in this short publication.
A strategic plan which would help them serve the institution better. According to the deputy, her plea would be in tackling the accommodation first, as it would help them serve a large number of those who are visually impaired.
As we network with referral hospitals, they usually declare people blind. They don't tell them where to go. But we have been working with them now to be referring them to us. But when they come, they don't get accommodation. They go to look for private hostels, and most don't come back. But now if we have hostels, we'll be able to accommodate them as they come. And also our intake is usually continuous because people lose sight any time of the year. So we can't say this is the month that we intake. And also when they come, the readiness of training, because somebody could be still mourning the loss. We take time to counsel them and bring them to the point of I can now study. And so that lack of hostel is very critical.
To make such a day successful, challenges popped in the way. However, the organizing team ensured everything went well.
The challenges we had was this coordination, because you're not sure who is coming. We have sent a lot of invitations, and we were expecting mini players, and even exhibition tents. We had planned many. We thank God that they are filled, but even by this morning we were sure of 3, because communication is usually not very easy for Kenyans. They don't respond when you expect. Like confirm, come yesterday, take a tent. Only 3 came, and so the organizing was quite a challenge, but we thank God it has passed well.
'Cause we're differently abled, differently.
World Club Foot Day was celebrated recently, and the idea is to give adults with club foot a voice. Our team was there and compiled the following report.
So welcome to World Club Foot Day inaugural celebration in Kenya.
The Club Foot Society Kenya celebrated the one-of-a-kind event in style by choosing to create awareness as they launched at the same time.
So today we celebrated World Club Foot Day, a day that's celebrated all over the world for people living with club foot or individuals who have been born with club foot.
We were creating awareness for people to come out, and the shoes can cut, the cost should be cut or given free. We need again for technicians who can make our shoes to come out. Like we have like a few of people who can make our shoes.
Sishali is a lawyer that was invited to shed light on matters disability. Among them was issues touching employment, education, accessibility, among others.
So, in my understanding or in my opinion, there is still a long way to go. Much as there has been some improvement, but there is still a long way to go. These are the challenges that the law provides for. So, other issues I think that were not clearly discussed is like, for example, access to healthcare, because healthcare is very important. If you fall sick, you find probably someone is living with a disability and is pregnant. How do you get reproductive health, your reproductive health discussed? Because these are private issues. You want to have you also have a right to privacy and to access to medicine and all these things. But you find you go to hospitals, there is no privacy. It is just, everyone is just exposed to the same standards. And that's not the case that it's supposed to be. So reproductive health is still not talked about. Transport, I think we've discussed. Work and employment, we've discussed. Adequate standard of living, cash transfer programs, we've discussed. So for me, those are the issues that really need to come up clearly. Much as the law is there, they need to be fine-tuned so that it goes to the person living in the remotest part of the country, that all these things are supposed to be provided.
Dr. Dion was also in the gathering, and her expertise came in handy, no doubt. She delved into the importance of physiotherapy.
The pain of a club foot, especially for young children, it is when you are working on that person. That's when they are in a lot of pain. And that pain, the way we manage it is usually by use of resting the area, 2, apply ice to make the place numb, and 3, if it is something which has been for a long time, we put heat.
We managed to separately interview the doctor on the importance of early intervention.
If a club foot is identified at birth, it is 98% recoverable to go to normal fit. So long as immediate after birth, it has been discovered and referred to a physical therapist, it will be recovered 98%.
Dr. Dion encouraged parents to act with speed to help those children born with club foot.
Don't let it go beyond 2 weeks, because when it goes to 2 weeks, the baby is growing, the bones are hard, they are harder to manipulate. But when they are very fresh, even if you move them, there is no fracture, which can happen. The bones will go back to their position, and you hold. Even you can hold even with a piece of cloth to hold that foot in that position, because that time the baby is very, very weak.
Tom, who is a parent to one of the founders of the Club Foot Society, Kenya, was also present and proud of the daughter's achievements. He shared some of the beautiful moments he had raising his daughter.
Bridget has been having some very good visions and dreams. So me as a parent, I was there for her all along. So when this thing is happening, and it's doing. I'm really, really proud that anybody can do anything. Sindio?
Sure.
Yes. It's and there are so many people outside there who are just inside houses. Nimesikia mtu akisema stigma hapa. The parents are not even proud of the people who are there in the houses.
The launch that was attended by many, among them the Honorable Member of Parliament, Denita Gatti, helped in shedding some lights on how the government has ensured equal representation at the Senate level and parliamentary level.
Mimi na Mheshimiwa Sankok, wale mnajua Sankok, Mr. Greenman, tuko pamoja katika National Assembly. Tuko wawili wabunge ambao wamenominatiwa to represent persons with disabilities in the National Assembly. Si mnajua Kenya kuna National Assembly na Senate. Yes. Ziko hizo mbili because now that is what we are saying, it is a bicameral parliament. Bicameral inamaanisha kuna Senate na kuna National Assembly. Kwa hivyo katiba ya Kenya ikaleta kwamba kutakuwa na wabunge wanne, wawili katika Senate na wawili katika National Assembly ambao wataangalia maneno ya watu walio na ulemavu. Kwa hivyo wawili katika Senate ni Senator Mwaura. Si mnajua Senator Mwaura? Yes. Na kuna Senator mwingine anaitwa Gertrude. Wako pale wawili, alafu katika National Assembly ni mimi Mheshimiwa Denita Gatti na Mheshimiwa Sankok.
She was involved in an accident in 2013 that landed her in a wheelchair. The Member of Parliament insisted on the importance of coming out to be counted during census.
Mimi nimewaambia kwamba you will have to be counted, our people have to be counted. So that even katika ile form ya kukauntiwa ya census, for the first time in Kenya, mtakuwa mnaambiwa what is your disability kwa hiyo household, ni watu wangapi, what type of disability, unaelewa? So that now it is easier to know the people wenye hawawezi kuona na wale hawawezi kusikia na wale wako na club food, because now in the census you will be able to tell what disability ya namna gani.
She was also engaged in a question-answering session. She promised to table their grievances as soon as possible.
I want to request you to do a petition. I want you to come up with a petition. You know, hizi vitu zote, they are better also solved as a petition ambayo nyinyi mmesign as this team. Club food. Si mtasign hizi maneno yote mmeandika hapa. Request mambo ya viatu, prosthesis, hii viatu na hizi vitu zote tumeongea na uchanganya na hii ambayo imeandikwa hapa. I want you to do it as a petition National Council or petition Parliament to making sure that hizi vitu zinapeana free. And then I will read it on the floor of the House. Yeah. Are you understanding what I mean? Yeah. So once I read on the floor of the House, it also gets that weight. Yeah. So that now from there in Parliament, we will discuss that in the House.
According to the founders, the turnout was amazing. The most important part of making the launch of this event was cake cutting as the event came to a closure.
Today being a Monday, the turnout was good, and especially the weather now, it's really bad. We expected an average of 20 people, but at least we have surpassed the target.
Yes.
I guess the turnout was really good. And the educative information that has gone around was helping each and every one of us who had a disability. And we welcomed everybody who had a physical disability or a hearing impairment or a visually impaired. And yes, the turnout was really good. I have nothing to complain about it.
'Cause we're differently abled, differently.
Let's take a look at the UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities.
Article 6 of the UN Convention states that state parties recognize that women and girls with disabilities are subject to multiple discrimination, and in this regard shall take measures to ensure the full and equal enjoyment by them of all human rights and fundamental freedoms.
Today we look at the saying that goes, everyone thinks of changing the world, but no one really thinks of changing himself. Jairus, what do you think about this?
It's true. If you want to bring change, the best way to start with yourself. Change starts from within, and so if you want to change the world, you start with yourself because you are the world. Yes.
Need I say more? That's all we had for you today. Let's meet next time on the same program. My name is Stella Tioi.
And me, Jairus Ongeta. Bye-bye.